But what something interesting I got about angels, that we should make a difference between mythological beings called angels who were just like, for instance, Nordics visiting people, and real angels, like real entities with real consciousness that have no body. They are all pure consciousness. Because I've asked about angels, and they say they are guardian entities. There are many layers, many levels, and they are, the highest ones are pure consciousness. And something very interesting about Metatron, this Metatron, it's a super consciousness that is very close to source, because they said there are 13 layers, 13 layers of densities. The 13th is source, and Metatron is just like the guardian of the portal. It's sacred geometry, and the geometry is consciousness by itself. The pattern it creates, the flower of life, it's conscious.
So there's a Metatronic cube, right? And it relates to the Earth grids. Is this like the Merkaba field? Is this?
Yes. That's the structure of everything alive. That's the power of source, like crystallize. That when source manifests creation or energy or life energy, it materializes. It has the structure of this Merkaba or Metatron. If you take the geometric lines whole, it composes everything. And when you do the protection of the Merkaba around you, you reconstruct the very power of source, and nothing can just reach out to you, because you possess it. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't you say that there have been dark technologies that have messed with the Earth grids and tried to reprogram the planetary grid network to create these artificial timelines?
Yes.
And that part of the mind control is siphoning our energies in order to feed those artificial constructs that have distorted the sacred geometries and the Earth grids, and I don't know, what kind of information have you been given about that? I could talk to you forever, and I want to respect your time.
I know. What the information I have is that the Galactic Federation, they're working a lot on maintaining the Earth electromagnetic grid. Well, you have different layers. You have the electromagnetic grid and you have the etheric grid. And it's like ley lines, the ley lines that are in the ground, projected. It's the same thing. So as above, so below. When you work on the ley lines on Earth, it acts there. And when you work there, it acts on the Earth. So that's how it is good to do meditation on some specific nodes on Earth and project it, heal it, and project it up, and it really changes everything up there, and the repercussions is on all the planets. So they are the good ones, the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They are working on maintenance of this grid above our head, making sure that it is not hacked by the dark powers, and trying to keep the balance. So there are nodes, and I've seen meditations where manifestation and consciousness and pure love was sent up, and it was caught by the nodes and redirected in the lines of the grid above, and it was quite beautiful to see, because the way they see that, they see colors, they see waves of energy like ripples, and it's quite impressive and beautiful. We are so powerful. By our consciousness, we can really interact on the planet, because we are interacting with it,
well, it's a macro version of us, with our
yes.
chakras and our dormant DNA that we're learning to switch back on.
You know, the Taurus, I don't know if you say that, I say that well in English, this
Taurus
shape
field, I guess, is what some people here say. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you call it because
No, I totally get you.
excuse my French. It's
Oh,
the
it's a
same
much
shape
more beautiful
for
accent than
everything.
American.
No. It's the same thing for the planet. It's a universal shape, dynamic shape. You know, we have it in miniature, and the little fly has it in miniature, and the planet has it in miniature. Every living, organism has this dynamic.
So when you hear certain things, like flat Earth theory, or what, I mean, are there psyops? Is there a sort of a truth to it? Is it almost like everything exists because perception is what creates our reality, that we might as well accept that everything is real? Or do you know that certain things are a definite psyops, that we don't have to go into flat Earth or anything, but I mean.
Well, the question of the flat Earth has been brought up in my conversations, and well, the answer was like, well, you see it with your own eyes. It's round, it's a globe, and it's so the flat Earth is just a trick of the mind, and it's just an illusion, and that's not the truth. It's the every planet in the universe is round because it's dynamics. It's the laws of physics, and it cannot be otherwise. Nothing can be flat. It's not working. That's gravity. Gravity forms balls round, and the biggest it is, the most perfect the sphere is. And that's just laws of physics. And so the answer was just replied very quickly. He said, well, you see it by your own eyes. It's laws of physics, and it cannot be otherwise. So he told me it's just a trick of the mind. And these deep state, they put a lot of confusion in people's minds. And it's not only that, it's about fighting against each other, about manipulating minorities, and trying to divide to conquer. They want to confuse our minds, and we will join this galactic community as equal. And when we will get on with each other, when we'll be all federated as a peaceful species,
That's where we're heading.
That's where we're heading.
Well,
and it's going to happen.
Yeah, the New World Order agenda, no doubt, is like really kind of hardcore. And I feel like this election is very different than anything else, because I've always avoided politics. I know both sides are owned.
Yeah.
Everything got really compromised after Eisenhower, Kennedy. But this administration feels different. And I don't want to put you on the spot kind of with your thoughts about this particular administration. But it seems like, without being right or left, I like to be balanced and in the middle, but not in the lower 3D either, that there is some serious infiltration going on with the left, and that this agenda, this New World Order agenda, is manifesting itself through the Socialism Democratic Party, and that Trump might be actually connected to this plan that goes all the way back to the positive military and these higher ET races. And whatever you feel comfortable saying about what I just shared would be awesome. And then I know I should probably say goodbye, and I hope you'll want to join me again. But yeah, so just kind of like thoughts on the election, where the infiltration is happening. I know both sides are corrupt. I'm not saying it's so black or white. Yeah, just anything you can share on that, because I know people are really struggling with where to put their support, knowing that, people are signing stuff. I mean, we have the power in the collective, but, we still aren't out of the woods as far as the system. So any thoughts?
Yes. I know it's very difficult for me to say names, and just because I'm not American, so I shouldn't be concerned by it, but I am, because I live on Earth, and everyone is concerned by these elections. So what I get is that 2 years ago, when my friends came back in 2018, and they told me something's going to happen in 2 years' time. We were in November 2018, and I calculated quickly, November 2020, the American elections. And I went, oh, at the time I was very brainwashed by the medias, and I said to him, oh, I hope Trump won't get in again. Huh? And he went,
Wait, who said that? They hope they Trump.
Me, because I was brainwashed by the medias, and I was, I said that to him. Oh, I hope he won't, because he was pictured like a horrible man.
Oh yeah.
And my friend Torhan, he kind of smiled and a little bit sorry. He said, he will be re-elected by the people. And I went, oh no, at the time, and he said he will be re-elected by the people. So I brought that up recently. I went, what you said, is it still, because that's a bit not going that way. And because then I had more elements and I understood.
Well, like you dropped it. Not, I wouldn't say it's brainwashing, but you let go of whatever narrative the news was trying to steer.
Yeah.
And you felt better about him. And then you recently asked.
Yes, and then I understood he was. Yes, then I understood he was not part of all these deep state, and he wanted to get rid of it, and it was the biggest challenge of all times. But then I said to Thorhan, so what's up now? Because that doesn't look like it's going to go the way everybody wants with the federation and stuff. And he said, of course, free will stuff. But he said, the Terran people needs to see who their enemy, needs to see the face of their enemies, that it needs to be revealed. And they also need to see who their allies are. So everything that's the moment coming is to show everyone, look, that was going on, and look who are your real enemy, who is your real enemy, who is wanting to harm to humanity. It's like, if we are to shift, we need to do it right and understand what's going on.
Right. And to me, it's not all about, the T-man, it's about all of us. And it's a greater team, like on a human level, where we all want the same things: liberties, sovereignty. They all about like his character, this and that. We get kind of lost in the mix. But I mean, he's been talking about the shot stuff, and it might just be a part of the greater kind of planned public relations sort of move.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, okay, if the deep state wins at the end of the day by tricking and cheating, it's 4 more years of rebel fighting for the light. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. Exactly. Because totally. Who has the power? Who has the power?
It's beyond the election. It's beyond the election. So, yeah, I mean, that's why, like, even today, I just have a sense of humor about seeing, Biden wins the Electoral College. It's like, okay, like, that does not matter. Because no matter how you flip it, we're in this greater showdown.
Yes, and all united. Oh my God, they're nothing. They're nothing.
Yeah, I just wish those that are really sucked into the leftist agenda wouldn't be so hateful and dismissing of those that have shared any support for the other side. If that could be, but I know what you're saying about they need to know who the enemy is and who our allies are, but it's like the evidence can be staring them at the face and they'll still say it's a conspiracy or it's a plant or it's a document. Some people are in such denial. It's like, even if they don't wake up though, I mean, like you said.
It's conditioning. It's conditioning. And something very interesting that Valiant Thor had told me, I remember now these words, he said, you cannot liberate a slave if the slave holds on to its chains.
Yeah.
I think that was very good.
I want to make a t-shirt and I'll definitely put Val Thor as a quote. That's good. Because we have a family t-shirt company, but I would want, do
the one we will never let you down, because it's a great message. We will never let you down. We never had and we never will. That's something, it's very important.
So yes, totally. So you're in constant communication with Thorhan, right?
Yes, yes.
And so when
Yes.
you had, or somebody had brought up Val Thor, and he arranged to make contact, and it took a little while to have that contact happen, what is sort of the last note that you've left on since you last communicated with either Val or Thorhan, if you feel comfortable sharing?
To not let fear reach out to us. That fear is the tool of our occupants or invaders. Fear takes away your power, and once you do not fear, you're all powerful. And we need to request as well assistance. That's something very important.
Right.
The whole humanity. Request assistance, not on our knees, but standing on our feet as equals, because if we want to evolve, we have to manifest ourselves already there. It's all about manifestation.
And you mentioned that earlier, and that's so huge. Not coming from a place of victimhood or lowliness. Like, we have to reclaim these aspects of ourselves that they represent, is kind of what I'm getting that you're saying. It's like these beings, these great spiritual, benevolent individuals that you've gotten to know are a part of our greater inheritance and our higher self that we're looking to reclaim. And it's in our hands. And we mustn't fear
It's always
that.
been. It's always been. It always has been in our hands. We just have been brainwashed that we're not. We are sheep. We're not. We are sovereign beings and a sovereign species. And it's all in the mind. And we need to be aware of that we have this power and we can manifest our future. By visualizing us already as we want it. We want a happy future. We create it in our mind and we imagine very strongly that it's already happening. We create it. We have this power.
Totally. Well, and this is so important, especially for the small business owners, like in New York City and California, that are being shut down, and they're not fully awake, but they're not asleep either. They just know that something is like seriously wrong here.
Yes.
And it's not easy to be resourceful or let go of those attachments or those businesses that people have built or the locations that they've been living for a while. Is there anything kind of coming through that you can say to those kind of folks where, wow, they might have to relocate, or they might have to just say, I'm not going to comply? I mean, this is almost where the battleground is right now. It's like literally the battleground right now is business owners saying, I'm not going to shut down. I'm standing my ground. And that's sort of like the modern day civil war happening, is the refusal to comply. Just like if somebody knocks on the door saying, we're going to vaccinate you, or you can't travel without doing this level of manipulation. So, just kind of closing, like what do you say to those people that are kind of in the in-between? They got a foot in both worlds and they're just being thrown into survival. And it's like they're being told to mask their kids, separated from their families that, might have to go to the hospital for cancer instead of this. And then, your thoughts also on the masks. Obviously that's like BS.
Yes. What I would say is that it's like a dying beast that tries everything possible not to consent to be a slave to the beast. Turn your back and walk away towards the light in all sovereignty. You own your body, you own your soul, you own your movements, your decisions, and your behavior. And every time you accept to be manipulated by fear, you accept not to breathe, to restrain your movement, not to hug your children, you consent, you sign with the devil. So stop that. Do not consent to be manipulated. Do not consent to be in fear. Turn your back to the beast and walk ahead, and do not get the mark of the beast, if you know what I mean. Go ahead. Look into the future you're manifesting. We can all do this. If we are trusting ourselves, we get this.
Right. And we have to look forward to just the springtime and what you said about this temporary sort of lockdown, that it's not, going to continue on. But if we can hold this kind of energy, I mean,
yes, hold on. Just it's
inevitable.
scary. It's scary. It's confusing, but please do not go back to the ancient paradigm. It's your death. It's your destruction, because it's